You put a list of the options, you make an array or a point based with magnitude, and you add it to the map. And you kind of do that for each section. And what you can basically do is, if we Google Maps API.
A user-defined variable type.
Okay.
A little bit longer way to say a struct.
So this is the Google Maps API family. If you just Google Maps API, Google is good enough to show you its own products. You can pick which type you want to use, get more information about it, and it also gives you a good explanation of how to use it. So if you go to version 3, this is their version of the tour. As you can see, for smartphone, you have the smaller zoom features and all those things. They have a tutorial kind of similar to the one we went through. We varied it with our own points, but the same kind of thing. And there's also reference where you basically can find out things like if you wanted to see how to change the marker color, you can come here and look it up, and it will say, add this option into the markup. Majority of them, the ops we found were changing just one of the parameters in the options, or a simple JavaScript alteration. So we like it a lot because we don't have to reinvent the wheel as much. Our initial design for the tour was to use a canvas, and it's basically what we would have do with what's already pretty much done. So this is a kind of a cool thing. And then there's also, what was the URL? It's admin? Or it's location, or map/admin, right? Oh, we have to log in. It's secure. So, I want people. Okay, so this is actually the same similar tour, obviously without the bear paws. But Micheal's now is going to show us like a cool admin kind of feature where you can actually make it update in real time. If you want to just briefly go through, or show how it works, or show it working and how it works.
Basically, this is the administration page for the map page that Levi was showing you. And you can click on the map and it will fire an event which will allow you to create a point. You can delete that point by right-clicking on it. And you can create the path between 2 points by clicking Add Path. And then it will switch to path mode and allow you to create a path. And then you can delete that path if you feel so inclined. That's about it.
Yeah. So it's a really cool kind of design because you basically not have to worry about looking up all the decimal places and all that kind of stuff. But without going into too much detail, Michael, what code was involved in each one of those features?
A lot of PHP and a lot of JavaScript, basically.
Yeah. So this is a more advanced-ish tool, but I mean, you can see what you can do with it. The majority of it was like database work, right? Just update the database. It's just there's a lot you can do with Google Maps API. It's not restricted to what you think of just Google Maps. I guess. Oh, I want to show that video. We got all of the fun stuff here. We were supposed to have
Not too long, is it?
It's 40 seconds.
Is that the one?
No one's. I was supposed to show this at the beginning, but I didn't. Well, this is basically the end of our intro to Google Maps API. So before we switch over to this, are there any questions about it or comments or anything about that related to Google Maps API? Yes.
If you wanted to load the map to have like city something on it.
What?
To load it to have like the city names and stuff on it.
You probably want Google Earth Google Maps.
Google Maps is more localized. I mean, technically you could, but like in order to make a path, are you saying like make a path from city to city kind of thing? You could. If you didn't want to follow roads, you could make it very easily. It'd be a beeline to it. So basically every turn in the path, well, I guess with roads actually, if you can implement the roads, it actually would be fine. I mean, if it had that feature, which I think is in there, then yes, I think you could use it for that. If you use the road feature. But if you have to go off-road in any way, then it won't be good. Because you would have to, every time you term, you would have to make a new folder. Yes.
What do you use to capture the GPS coordinates?
Basically, we initially to put the data in before we had the admin tool. We basically went to a site that gave lat and longitude points using Google Maps. So actually, I can probably pull it up. I never find this. It takes me a while to find the same one, but.
Directions. Yeah, it's a different API.
And I think you can pretty much implement. I think directions is a new thing they added in version 3. You can add like other features.
The directions services in the class of Maps API. Yeah.
Oh, that one's not.
So try doing the it's not like kind of screen.
All right, so this is. I think if you click. Okay, so this is not as extensive as the one we have. There's a lot out there. There's some round off more than others. And you can basically click on a location, it would give you the lat and long points. So initially we basically went through and hard coded all this. That's kind of the downside if you have an off-road kind of thing. You basically have to make your own paths because Google Maps doesn't know how to navigate sidewalks. Obviously we want more degrees than this because we tried it with 4 to 5 and it was off. It would be good for if it was like the whole campus of Mercer, not for necessarily a building. It would basically be how far? It was like a couple buildings off, basically. Just because it wasn't specific enough. But I wouldn't recommend this one because it doesn't give enough decimal places, obviously. But that's how we did it initially.
There's extra decimal places at the bottom.
Where?
Right about down, right there.
You say no on the extra decimal places. Click yes to see what it gives you.
I've never been this. Maybe this is a good one.
Not
One
many.
more.
Woo! 2 more. Okay. But I mean, like we found sites that basically go as far as they possibly can. That's one we use because you want it to be as specific as possible in certain cases. Especially if you're giving tours, I mean, you don't want them to send them to the wrong building and then they'll be completely lost. If they're banking on that sporting and they get lost, then it's kind of like that was actually the most interesting. Was trying to find a path through Mercer that didn't go into parking lots or car or traffic or anything, because I just envisioned of people with a smartphone going like this through roads. I didn't want that on my conscience. Didn't want a school project to kill anybody. So we had to weave around. There's some awkward paths, but like that go across sidewalks, but people probably just cut across. But it's a suggested path. But that's how we found them. Now, if we wanted to add a path, we basically use the add tool, which automatically finds it. Yes.
What was at the Toby thing that was at the other side of the city?
That was the geolocation. Oh, that's. I think that's where the internet comes in.
I think it's
That's where
the
the internet
geolocation of the
originates.
local
That's a
like.
street corner.
I know. I have absolutely no idea why it picked that point. It always picks that point. Like even when I'm home and I live on campus, it picks that point. So I don't know. These things obviously are, as awesome as they are, do not have.
Well, it has to do it based on the
Some variable.
the IP address of the request, and that
Right.
may be where Mercer has some sort of office or something.
Well, it's not
where
just
we-
Mercer though. When I'm off campus at my apartment, it gives me there too.
Mercer uses a Cox internet.
It might be a Cox internet thing.
Well,
We do
Mercer
have
doesn't
that.
read from Cox, it reads directly from the train tracks. They've got a fiber line in from Atlanta, so.
And the important, you wouldn't typically use it for desktop computers or laptops because, I mean, is it really important to walk around with a laptop? It works on things like tablets and other devices like that. So.
Well, when I'm looking for my husband on Latitude, he's never the case.
I'm not gonna. I'm done. Dr. Weiss tonight. You were right. Yes.
Probably a very wrong fit.
I'm just.
No, I mean it puts him about 3 blocks from the house. Sometimes it puts him in the living room.
Well, yeah.
But it depends upon
Didn't
whether
you
it's
see like
phone
the
or
thing like
something.
circle?
What phone does he have?
He's got the same one I have, the little. Oh no, he just bought a new one. I don't know what he has.
Okay.
I'm not a big enough geek.
It sometimes varies on the phone. I know we use, is it?
Well, if he's hitting, you know, if he hasn't had the phone on, then he may be using it from his PC.
Right.
which would be
Also,
completely
you
different.
have to, in order to use geolocation, you have to usually, I think you either have to or you should ask to share your location. I believe you have to.
You have to.
Good, because nothing's worse than just running, I don't know where you are. So you have to do that too. So maybe he doesn't have that on his phone also. Some other.
No, he shares.
Well, I'm saying like the geolocation
Yeah.
feature might not be. Okay. Any other Google Maps related questions? Okay. Actually, instead of showing that video, I think going to a general MUGTUG talk. Would anyone like to give a talk next week on anything? Basically, as far as MUGTUG goes, we've had very general talks. We just suggest you implement some kind of use of the word Google in it so that it's related to Google technologies. We've done talks about intro to JavaScript where we just use the Chrome dev tools to debug first. Basically, the purpose of these talks are if you're really interested in a talk, it gives you an excuse to go out and research them. Michael and I already knew this one, but in the past we've done that where I didn't really know JavaScript that well or something, and I would go out, research it, and come back. You don't have to actually know everything there is to know about JavaScript, and when I gave my talk, I did not. It gives you an example to look it out and just kind of be at least a little bit ahead of everyone, just kind of lead us in a discussion about it. So you don't have to, if you think of an idea that you want to talk to me or Dr. White or email me or something, and we can set it up for next week. Or if you like to look at something next week, maybe not give a talk on it next week, you can do that as well. So as of right now, is there any idea of any kind of thing that y'all would like to talk about for next week? I know it's kind of...
What was that thing that you were saying you tried to do last week and Google had canceled it?
Oh, the Open Sesame project. accounts.google.com/sesame.
Okay.
And that's not working.
Oh, it's down?
No, they're done with it.
Oh, okay. But I mean, it can...
let's not talk about it.
I mean, but does anyone have anything they'd like to learn more about, or?
Something, if we wanted to do a service project, is we could, as a group, do something on Google Docs for faculty, staff, students. I don't know that any of them would actually come out anymore.
Well, I mean, we could, I know we could actually do it as a colloquium. I know we have spaces.
That's true.
We could do it as a colloquium and give a talk on how to use Google Docs. Another idea we talked about in the past is have a event where we had people, I'm sure everyone here has a family member or friend that knows about a computer as a magical box that does things, and have them come in and teach them how to use some tools. MUGTUG doesn't, or GTUG groups don't usually talk about Google search and other user devices like that, but have them come in and teach them how to use the Google software like Google Docs, Gmail, Google Earth, Google Maps, all that stuff. I would definitely make my parents come to that. But they have dial-up. It's the joke there. AOL dial-up.
Oh!
Yeah. I went on my account and
So you should email them now is what you
yeah. I went on my account. I still have young teen restrictions and 2-hour time limit. 2 hours on, I tried it. 2 hours on dial-up, man, you could get nothing done. And it's great because I just get more and more advanced, so you get less and less done as years go on. Yeah, so
you get more and more frustrated.
yeah, well, the thing is, they get mad at it, and they're like, well, we're going to keep it anyway. So I would have them come up and explain those tools. And I'm sure everyone else knows at least one person that they get frustrated with for having bad computer skills. And we'd come in and, in a very nice and easy manner, just explain to them how to use these kind of things. And because a lot of ways they're easier than the ways that they're going about now. It's just that's all they know how to do. So that was another idea of a service idea that Dr. White and I talked about. But again, we would have to do some planning into that. We might do like a MUGTUG day where we just basically go through organize that. We probably wouldn't do it on a Tuesday. That would be weird. We
probably might do that on a weekend, and like, so that if people want to encourage